The fabric on which this image is printed contains no trace of paint, dye, or brushstrokes. The image has retained its color for over 500 years. An incredible phenomenon considering what happens with other similarly low-quality fabrics.
What we are saying is that from the 12th of December 1531, for practically 119 years, it had absolutely no protection. It was in a small hermitage where everything was salty and damp. That's why it's incredible it's lasted so long. Medical experts and artists confirm this.
Here's an object that inspires universal devotion, while concealing mysteries no one can explain. Researchers and experts have tried to unravel the enigma without success, because there's more. Recent technology has revealed microscopic images in the eyes of the Virgin. This discovery has led to fresh revelations that communicate a brand new message. The image of Our Lady of Guadalupe remains unchanged, despite some potentially disastrous incidents, like the one in 1784 when someone was trying to clean the silver frame of the picture.
The silversmith slipped momentarily and landed on the Virgin's face. He fell on his right hand and spilt some acid, and he knew perfectly well it could have destroyed the painting immediately. In fact, he ended up in the hospital, but nothing happened to the image.
Another incident took place in 1921 that was anything but an accident. A soldier deliberately tried to destroy the image with dynamite. He hid the explosives in a bouquet of flowers disguised as an offering at the feet of the Virgin.
The explosion of the 14th of November 1921 destroyed many objects on the altar, smashing the altar marble. It bent the crucifix, which we keep here as a witness to the event. Candlesticks, too. The image was not protected by bulletproof glass, yet it stayed intact, and it's remained so down the centuries, despite people touching it, handling it, kissing it, placing their rosaries on it, despite holy water, candle wax, air pollution, and so forth. Our Lady of Guadalupe has been with us here for nearly 500 years.
How this simple piece of cloth has survived since 1531 remains a mystery, but new discoveries continue to reveal incredible surprises. It all began in 1950 when a Mexican artist claimed he'd discovered the image of a human head reflected in the pupil of Our Lady's eye. No one took him seriously, at least until a group of 15 eye specialists examined the image using powerful magnifying glasses. What they discovered defies all rational explanation. Using the scientific instruments available, they confirmed that the characteristics of the pupils correspond to those of a human being. They're not just blotches. In 1979, Dr. Aste, a US-trained computer scanning expert specialized in satellite imagery, applied state-of-the-art technology in an attempt to solve the enigma. His findings confirm the original conclusions of the eye specialists and go way beyond expectations.
It's very interesting the first time I discovered a seated Indian, but he wasn't the same one they'd seen. I thought he was the one they had already discovered, but it was someone else. He was one of 13 people who slowly came into focus.
This investigation into the eyes of Our Lady of Guadalupe revealed something truly extraordinary. The eyes of the Virgin reflect the profiles of 13 people. 12 of them can be seen in both eyes, like in a photograph, when an ordinary person is looking at something. The studies came to a clear conclusion. The image, which appeared in 1531, was not painted by human hands, and there is no scientific explanation.
The computer was a great help in this sense. One of the most important tests was to see if the images appeared in both eyes. In fact, all the images appear in both eyes in the same positions. Not only, if you continuously switch from one eye to the other, using a transition technique called morphing, you see that they match up perfectly.
How do we explain this mystery? Dr. Aste believes that the images in the eyes of Our Lady are the reflection of everything that was in the room where the miracle of the roses took place, just like a photograph. According to the tradition, Juan Diego showed the image to the bishop, Juan de Zumárraga, to prove the appearance of the Virgin. Skeptics might say that all it takes is a bit of imagination in order to interpret a group of spots as human figures. The director of the Superior Institute of Guadalupe Studies disagrees.
Some people think that these dark, shiny images in the eyes are the fruit of our imagination. I disagree. These reflections are present in both eyes. That's what is most important, and that's what makes all this so credible.
Dr. Aste's research doesn't end here. His investigations have brought another important discovery to light, a message that has remained hidden for nearly 500 years. The latest technologies have revealed something else reflected in Our Lady's eyes, a family. In each of her eyes, we can identify the distinct reflection of a family group, in which the figure of a mother is always present at the center of the pupils, as though highlighting the central role of mothers in our society and for each member of the family. According to Dr. Aste, when the figure of the father approaches, so do the children. This too is an important message for our own day.
The father is very interesting when I realize that he was lower than the mother, like giving support to the mother, which is interesting. Another small difference between the pupils is that in one pupil, the children are together, and in the other, they're separated. When the continuous conversion is made, it's seen that when the father approaches the mother, the children come together.
This is the new message from Our Lady of Guadalupe. She emphasizes the importance of the family today, comprising a father and a mother.
This triangle formed of love is very important. Our Lady is telling us that the figure of the father unites the family and brings the children together.
But there are other figures reflected in the family nucleus besides the parents and children. Two other people stand in the background. Dr. Aste has identified them as the grandparents. An explicit message not to forget the elderly. After more than 30 years of gazing into the eyes of Our Lady of Guadalupe, Dr. Aste sums up his discoveries in the following conclusion.
For myself as an engineer, the most important aspect is deciding what purpose something serves. How can we use them? I believe the message of the family is particularly relevant. We have discovered these hidden images right at the time when the family is under attack.
The hill of Tepeyac, where Our Lady appeared in 1531, has always promoted a message of peace and mercy. Now it communicates a new message. It's time, her eyes tell us, to strengthen and defend the Christian family.